Your first requirements gathering workshops. So welcome back. Good morning. Today is your third day as a new lead business system analyst. Yesterday you learned why credit risk reporting application exists, right? So this is where a business system analyst create value, not by having all the answers, but by asking right questions. Okay. So 9 a.m. requirement workshop. So first day, first in the morning, you start the workshop. So you enter the conference room. Everyone is already there. And let's quickly go through our stakeholders. Sarah Mitchell, Senior Manager. Emily Rodriguez, Credit Risk Manager. Tom Wilson, Product Owner. David Chan, Solution Architect. Mike Patel, Lead Developer. And Rachel Lee, Data Engineer. Lisa Brown, QA Lead. So Sarah look at you and saying, good morning. Today you will facilitate workshop. Okay. So relax. Nobody expect perfection here. Okay. That's you need to understand. So we simply want to understand business. You take a deep breath, open your notebook, smile and begin. Okay. So you start the meeting. Let's understand how you have to do. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today's objective is to understand current reporting process, identify challenges, and define what success looks like for the new solution. So before we discuss technology, I would like to understand your business process. So you are saying this one, okay? So the room become quiet. Emily begins explaining. So you know, right, who is the Emily? Okay, so Emily is the risk analyst. Okay. So let's continue our story. So Emily is explaining the current process. So you have to imagine, okay, so you're all sitting in a room and you're facilitating the workshop, requirement gathering workshop. So you guys are trying to understand the current process. So now the current business stakeholder try to explain the current process. So Emily start. Every morning, our analysts download the mortgage data from different banking systems. So we said we are going to use the mortgage as for example this one. So then we compare balances. Okay. So we verify customer information. We calculate exposure. Finally, we prepare report for management. So you don't interrupt. You listen carefully. So this is a conversational, right? So listening is one of the most valuable business analyst skills, remember. Okay. So now you are asking some open-ended question instead of asking, is the report slow? So you ask, can you walk me through your typical morning, right? So you don't need to provide any solution here. You just need to identify the gap, right? So gap analysis is very important. So you need to understand what they are doing today. So Emily smiles. That's a much better question. She explain each step. So you now understand complete workflow. So now you are asking more detailed question. What is the most time consuming part of the process? So Emily replying to you, validating the data. So data, you understand, right? Data is nothing but it's a piece of information. So different systems sometimes shows different balances. Yesterday we talked about what are the different systems, right? So you write pain point number one, data inconsistency, right? Because finance report one report, mortgage system report one data, right? And the customer system report one data. So we want to know what is this right value for the reporting purpose. So we have to have one data, right? One data inconsistency. So you also ask what happens if the numbers don't match, right? So Emily answer, we investigate manually, right? Like let's say finance is saying this is our portfolio balance, this much 1 million loan we shoot for 1000 customer. But mortgage system, loan system or from the core banking it's coming, we should loan for and 999 people, and it's 990,000. So there is a discrepancy here, right? So what they are doing, Emily was saying, they are investigating manually today. Sometimes it takes hours, right? So 1,000 customer you have to find. So let's say this is your mortgage system. This is the finance report, right? So you have to see what customer is missing from which system, right? If you find the customer and you can see the amount, or if you know the amount and you can see what customer, vice versa, right? So that's the first one. So now the pain point is second one you are saying. So data does not match, we understand that's one issue, and second one, manual investigator. So you are continue asking more, poking more questions. What happens if the report is delayed, right? So let's say someone extract the report from mortgage system. They have to share it somewhere, or either they have to send it by email, uh, or it's saved in a shared directory, and the other person or the Emily's team is preparing the report, they should access it, right? Sometime, like what happen if the system, the person who is downloading the report from finance, a different person, the person downloading the report from mortgage system is a different person. So the report is available, data is available from mortgage system, but not the finance system, right? So those kind of thing happen. So our answer, executives don't receive timely information. So you, as an analyst, Emily's team has to ping wherever the data is missing. Here, could you send the report as soon as possible? So which delays import risk decisions? That's what will happen. So these are typical banking operation manual work. So next one, the pain point is business impact, delay in decision making. So clarify business rules. So you are asking what type of rules you apply uh, after you get the data, right? So what they do with this one. So let's understand. Okay. So you ask, how do you define a high risk mortgage? So how do you consider mortgage is high risk? So risk analyst Emily is saying, if a mortgage is more than 90 days past due, okay, it's automatically classified as high risk. So these are they are analyzing delinquent files. So delinquent files mean customer, they lend money, like they um, took a mortgage to buy a house. They're supposed to pay on whatever the agreed date. So they didn't make payment. So the first notification sent, second notification, several attempts made to contact the customer. For whatsoever reason, customer is contacted, but customer is not making the payment or not contacted. There is some other factors too, but this is the business rule, right? Like that's the question we are asking, right? Which loans are there are past due, right? Like customer payment didn't go through, that's past due is 1 day old, right? Let's say today is August 4. My loan should, I should pay the loan to the bank mortgage, but payment didn't go through. I get NSF or notification to my bank account tomorrow morning. So 1 day past due, right? So there can be other reasons. Maybe money was not available on my account. So there are some other reason, but this is the business rule. If customer could not make the payment within 90 days, so that's they're classifying as a high risk. So instead of relying on memory, you repeat it back, right? So just to confirm, okay, you are confirming it, days past due. If days past due is greater than 90, so you have to double confirm, right? So past due, there can be past due even 1 day. You supposed to payment should go clear from your account August 4th, but if coming next day, so 1 day past due, that's also classified as past due. 2 days, yes, past due. 1 month past due. So we are talking about another factor, high risk. So you are confirming that rule. What is that number? So the risk category equals high risk, right? So you are saying risk category greater than 90 days. So this one we are saying high risk. So this is one information you got. Okay, if it is equal or greater than 90 days, we are saying it's a high risk. So Emily is saying correct. So now you just validate your first business rule. Okay, so let's continue. Let's see what's happening. Okay, ask about exception. Exception mean this is the happy path, right? Like for example, this is let's say this is a person customer supposed to reach to B. Okay, so you have linear path like a straight line. This is the path you are saying customer should go. That's happy path, right? So let's say for some reason customer could not reach here. So what will happen? That's the exception. So happy path is nothing but whatever the defined expected result we are asking. So customer should go A to B. What will happen if customer could not reach A to B, whatever given condition? That's the exception, unhappy path, right? So we have to tell the clear requirement what is the business expectation for the happy path and as well as for the unhappy path exception, because this is a rule, right? Like a rule is in coding, you write if the past due greater than or equal to 90, classify high risk, and that's we have to give else condition, else also to the business logic, right? Otherwise code keep on looping in this same area, right? Going to be crash. So when developer write code, always they need to give the if they are giving a condition, they have to write if, which is the happy path, and they have to give the else. If this is not met, what should the code should do? So that's exception handling, else, right? So that's all about this we are talking. So what if the mortgage has been closed, right? So Emily replies, closed mortgage should not appear in active portfolio reports. So we need to take care, right? So when we are this is data mining, right? Like what is the data input, right? Data input, we should have our rule to have only active loans, or like other way around, or we should say should not include closed loan, should not include closed loan. So this is data collection, so data cleaning, right? We should not include for this one. So Emily, closed mortgage should not appear for portfolio reports, that what says, right? So you write another rule exception here, right? So I already written here and exclude mortgage accounts from active risk reporting, right? That's what we captured. Okay, so now we're clear. So every conversation is important, so it's not only listening, so you are taking around. So you see, while I'm talking about this in a use case, I'm taking notes in right side, right? So that's what I took, and without I'm seeing this one, so I took the exception handling, right? So now the developer Mike, he's asking question. Okay, let's see what question he has. What happens if the customer information is missing? Okay, let's see why customer information is important. The room becomes quiet. Emily thinks the mortgage should still appear, but it should be flagged for investigation, right? So we are creating a report for the management, right? We want to know how many loans are at risk, right? Like past dues. Does the customer information is very important? yes, we want to know which file is pending, but this doesn't stop the report, right? Because bank is not going to see like we will be seeing individually, but um, the report concern is we want to know uh, how much is the total, like a dollar amount, right? Like that's what the management interested. How much is the total dollar amount at risk, right? Risk and number of loans, right? This is what management interested. It doesn't matter you give to 10 customers or you give to 100 customers, right? Yeah, but we can have a detailed investigation why this loan was failed. Did the loan officer collect the right document? Did the debt ratio was calculated? Who approved this loan? We can go for investigation, but that's another thing. But report concern, this is good, right? So the that's what Emily is saying, right? The mortgage should still appear, but it should flag for the investigation. So we are including that mortgage. We are counting against the risk dollar, and we are including that loan number also. But we are missing, like it doesn't matter which name, which age, but we need. Okay. So now you are smiling. Why you are smiling? This is why developers attend requirement workshop, right? Their question often uncover missing requirements, right? So this is good conversation we should ask. Okay, so this is really good conversation. So now let's see. So I'm just trying to give you example, like you have to be in the call, right? Like and try to give a simulation how this can be go. So let's try to get one question what QA might ask. Okay, so Lisa Brown say I'll need test scenarios. Can we document examples? You just absolutely you create your first example. You create your first example. So she's asking test cases, right? So you can, because you need as well to write in your acceptance criteria. Okay. So example scenario: mortgage number. Okay, outstanding balance, past due, past due. Okay, status active, expected result, risk category high, displayed on dashboard yes. So it's kind of a checklist, right? So this what we discuss. Yes, if we have customer number, we have to have that one. Um, Loan should be status active, expected is high, and displayed on the dashboard, right? So whatever we discuss, she's asking how can you give how should I prepare a test case, right? So that's example scenario documented. Listen note, perfect. That will help us to build our test cases. So let's summarize before we have an never end a workshop without summarizing. So you have to give a recap, and because you have to send a discussion of summary, right? Notes, because if you don't send it, no one will agree, right? There are more conversation going to come, and you have to keep on documenting what we discuss, what we are agreeing on. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess, I would say. So let's recap. So we are recapping. So you are saying before we finish, I would like to confirm what we agreed. Okay, it's kind of a verbal sign up. So you read your note. I'm reading my notes. So faster reporting. This is better data quality, accurate mortgage risk classification. Okay. So this is the business goal. Pain points I noted: manual reporting, duplicate data, slow investigation, delay executive reporting. Okay. So business rule: mortgage over 90 days past due, high risk, closed mortgage are excluded, missing customers should be flagged. Everyone agrees. So Sarah smile, excellent work. You have captured the requirements clearly. So this is the expected outcome, like every conversation you have to do. So your first deliverable, Sarah gives you next task. Please convert today's discussion into formal business requirement. We'll review your document tomorrow. This is the first real deliverable from a business system analyst. The meeting is over. Your documentation work begins. Okay. So the key lesson, let's summarize. Today you learn a business analyst should Listen more than they speak. Ask open-ended question. Never assume. Validate business rules. Ask about exceptions. Summarize before ending the meeting. Confirm understanding with stakeholders. These habits build trust and reduce misunderstanding in the later in the project. Okay, so your homework post the course. Imagine you are a business system analyst. Write answer to these questions. What is the biggest business problem discussed today? Okay, please write it. What are the three business rules you identified? What exception did the stakeholders mention? What information will QA team need for testing? Please answer this question. So, if you were the developer, what additional question would you ask for this scenario? Okay, write your answer before moving to the next lesson. So, what's coming up next? In the next lesson, you will transform today's meeting into a professional business requirement document (BRD). You learn how to organize requirements, functional versus non-functional requirements, business rules, assumptions, dependencies, scope, requirement numbering, requirement traceability. This is where your notes become professional project documentation. So that's the end of lesson number 4. Thank you.